Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and yes, today we are back with a double upload, which you know I don't normally do, but we have some very big news to break down regarding the Division Heartland and how it has now been added to Ubisoft's official store and site, and it's coming with some images that have never been seen before or never been publicly released for the game. You know I don't normally do double uploads unless there is something actually substantial and need to talk about it right now that's out there, and that is certainly what today is. So I'm very excited to get into this. Let's just do it right away. Before I get any further, major shout out to Delirium, or maybe Delirium. I hope I'm saying your name correctly. I very much appreciate you. He reached out to me on Twitter and let me know that this had gone live. I did not see this for myself, so thank you so much for letting me know, and so that I can get this out to the community and we can all sort of see this stuff. And yeah, we're gonna get right into it, but thank you again so much. We all appreciate you. You can see right here the Division Heartland free-to-play PC download. We are on Ubisoft's official site. Now, last time I showed this image on a video, it got copyright striked, got taken down, my channel got affected. Hopefully that doesn't happen again. Ubisoft, I just want you to know this is on your own website. Feel free to take it down if this was a mistake. I don't need to get punished for it. But either way, here we are. The Division Heartland is on their site. So you see the official cover image here. Obviously, they have the bigger version there. Coming soon. It doesn't give any sort of release date indicator. Obviously, you can choose your platform. Heartland is a free-to-play survival action shooter set in small-town middle America. I think that much, they pretty much gave that same synopsis back in May of last year when we first got the announcement. But if we move down here, you will begin to see we have our first images. We have 4 images here that nothing like this has ever been shown for the game yet. Right, so the first one here, we have an agent that is kneeling down over a crate there, an SHD crate. It looks like there's some sort of radio interceptor next to him that he is looking at. Obviously, he's got a mask there that looks pretty familiar to, Division players. There is, you can see the patch right there, and you'll see it in some of the other images, doesn't look quite the same as the ones that we are used to in the Division 1 and 2. It is a little bit triangular shaped, and so who knows what that might indicate, but, that's a cool little detail. Then on the right here, this is a pretty cool look at the setting of the game. You can see there's a water tower there with Silver Creek on it. That much was in some of those images from before as well. The water tower has been very symbolic of the Heartland brand thus far, as, minuscule as it is. We have a flare there in the background. You can see the sun is setting, it looks like, or maybe rising, either way. We have some streetlights there. There's some dudes that are chilling on the rooftop there, walking down on the street. Awesome. Looks pretty sweet to me. Then these bottom two, the one on the left, you can see that there are 2 agents here. One is down. Looks like she's about to go res. There's 2 enemies that they're fighting there that look like a new faction that might have been alluded to before in some previous leaks. I'm kind of walking a tightrope here with everything that has come out illegitimately about the game, but you can see that they're fighting 2 enemies there. Some stuff in the background, that's all cool. And then on the bottom right, this one's pretty cool because it's like a big action scene. You got this dude up on the roof of the Vector shooting at what looks like other agents across the way on that other rooftop. You got an explosion going down in the bottom right. You have agents there fighting with what looks like AI. That guy standing above the red car looks like he's heavily armored. I mean, this looks really cool. I assume this is the new AI faction that obviously we knew we were going to get some sort of new enemies in the game as well as other players to fight. And these 4 images are showing us exactly that. And again, I don't know if Ubisoft meant to put this up on their site, but this is very interesting stuff, and I'm super glad that we finally have a little bit of stuff to talk about with the game that's officially out there, because it's been, really quiet ever since May of last year. We'll see how long this stays up, but for now, here we are. There is more interesting stuff, though. If you scroll down, there is a summary for the Division Heartland PC download. Product description. Tom Clancy's The Division Heartland is a free-to-play survival action shooter. Okay, we already read that. Then below there, gives a bit of a description. Massive PvEVP in storm operations. Fight together in 45-player PvEVP storm operations against a group of dangerous rogue agents, an aggressive faction known as the Vultures, all while surviving a lethal virus. So yes, the Vultures were mentioned in a previous leak. That was the name that I was tiptoeing around, but I would guess that these 2, I don't know why it highlights when I do that, but these 2 figures right here, and then that guy right there, I think are all part of the enemy faction. And maybe this one as well, right there. And then I think all the rest are agents. But we get a look at them. They're pretty cool. Again, all the agents have very interesting clothing on. You can see a little bit of a different style from what we're used to in the other games. And I think this just all looks really cool. Prep the battlefield in PvE excursion operations, complete PvE missions, gather gear, activate alerts, and prep the battlefield in excursion operations. Progress and adapt to survive. Play as one of 6 agents and select between 3 classes each match, all with their own perks and skills. What is slightly interesting, and what I'm kind of wondering if, they really meant to put this on their site, is that this information kind of contradicts some more recent leaks that have come out about the game. Now, of course, those are leaks, and this is obviously up on Ubisoft's official site, so we'll have to see what sort of clarifying information comes out to kind of bridge the gap between those two, camps of information. But for now, this is very interesting. Now, the last thing on this listing, obviously the images are the coolest thing, I think, for sure. But the last thing that is very notable to talk about is that on the side here, it says, obviously there is no release date given, just coming soon, developer, Ubisoft Montreal. Now that is very interesting because up until now, we have heard, at least I haven't heard any sort of peeps about potentially other studios being involved with this game beyond Red Storm Entertainment. Obviously, we know Red Storm has been involved with the Division 1 and 2 ever since, before the first game came out for many, many years now. They were the ones announced to be working on the game by Ubisoft last year when we got the announcement. You can go, and they still are. I don't think this brings that into question. You can still go on many, many of their developers' Twitter pages. In their bios, it says they're working on the Division Heartland. They recently updated their Twitter banner to include a picture of Heartland right here, the one that was originally released. On their website, I just went and checked. There is still no mention of the game in there or any listings, but that's pretty standard. That didn't change when they announced it last year, so they're always very uptight with that stuff. But I think Red Storm we can say confidently, is still working on the game. But Ubisoft Montreal, I'm not super familiar with them. Again, I'm recording this right after I'm learning this information, so perhaps if you know more about them that you want to let me know down below, certainly do. From what I can tell, they don't have an announced game that they are working on, unless it's Assassin's Creed, I guess. Again, I'm sorry, I need to do more research. But either way, either the thing on the Ubisoft listing here that says that they are on the Division Heartland, either that is a mistake and they meant to put Red Storm, or I think it is possible that Ubisoft Montreal could be the first support studio that we are seeing on the Division Heartland, which would be very cool. Until now, we've been thinking it's just Red Storm. They're a relatively small studio, comparatively to Massive when they were making the Division 1 and 2. I would guess maybe they have less than 200 people working on the Division Heartland, or I think their entire studio might be around 200. They have 2 little VR games they're working on. Probably Heartland has, 125, 150 people working on it at Red Storm. And so if it's true that they are getting some sort of support and help from Montreal, obviously that would be nothing but good stuff for the game. Usually you can go and find their hiring pages, but this one seems a little bit different from what Massive and Red Storm is set up like. Yeah, they don't really have listings that say, unannounced project or whatever. They might on the regular. Oh, here we go. See all positions. See, I'm finding this out live with you guys because I just sat down to do this. None of that is game related. What if we go to project management? Can we go to specifically, where is development, game and level design? Let's see what games pop up when we click this. 0 posts. So maybe they just have, what if we do art for a game? Full-time, technical artist. It doesn't list any games, at least off the bat there, while ensuring AAA quality. So they seem a little bit ambiguous as to what they're working on. Again, it could be for Assassin's Creed, that's what they were retweeting there. But my understanding is that Montreal is a pretty big studio, so it's very possible that they are full-timing on something like Assassin's Creed, and then maybe they do have some help, in developing Heartland. Either way, it could be a mistake on the Ubisoft side, or it could be our first hint at a support studio for the Division Heartland, and that, for me personally, is very exciting to hear. But yeah, everybody, that just about does it for our first breakdown here of some official Heartland information that, like I said, there hasn't really been any since May of last year. Again, this wasn't announced. This wasn't advertised by Ubisoft, so it's very possible that this listing was not meant to go up yet, and they could be taking it down within a matter of hours or days. But for now, we have a look at, again, this cover image that was previously copyright struck, so I hope I'm in the clear there since it's on their website. I guess we'll see. But then we also do have these images that have, like I said, have never been released online. I've never seen these personally. And so that is very cool that we're finally starting to get and see a little bit of promotional stuff for the Division Heartland, even if it wasn't quite meant to be released yet. I think it does speak to what we can expect, hopefully, in the coming weeks, months, and hopefully leading up to the release of the game. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on to get me updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts on this new information for the Division Heartland. What do you think of these photos? What do you think of the listing overall? What are your thoughts on the Ubisoft Montreal, tag down here? Do you think it's significant? Do you think think it was just a typo, certainly let me know. And again, if you do have more information on Montreal, I'm probably going to start looking it up right after this video, but certainly let me know, and I would be very appreciative. If you want to stay up to date on the future and latest Division Heartland news coverage and news drops, certainly subscribe, and you will be notified as soon as new stuff goes up. That's going to do it for me today, though, everybody. Once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.